Hello, I'm Jazz, and welcome to the Black Mirror Oracle. Earlier today, as I was scrying in the Black Mirror, I saw a few different images. First, I saw a house. It was a two-story house, and it had a very tall fence around it. And there was a person looking out of the window from the second floor with their arms crossed. And around the fence was like a line of people, like they were waiting to get in. And the second image was a birdhouse, and there was a bluebird busily working in and out, flying with things to make a nest inside. And so it's really interesting because these are two images of home, right? There's a bird busily working, and there's a person like trying to block people out. So, but the impression I was getting was the feeling of building the framework of healthy detachment in your life. Okay. And what does that mean? What does that look like? How do you build a safe home in yourself? Because the home represents your body. A house represents your body. A house represents your mind. The bluebird building a nest. The bluebird building a nest is you building up your inner world, your inner strength, right? The person in the house looking down has boundaries. They are detached from the outcome of whether those people get in or not. Whereas in the past, they might have just opened the gate and let any old person in, right? Okay. So we got the same shadow card, I think, 2 weeks ago. So this is actually going to be really, really interesting. Okay. So our first card is, there are these two little girls and they're eating a gingerbread man. But the gingerbread man's like kind of like, ruh-roh, don't eat me. I feel like with this, it's the idea of when you're always helping people and you overgive, because I feel like one of the things that happens a lot in the collective that is on my channel is that you find yourself overgiving to others and not saving any nourishment for yourself. So you literally can feel like you're being eaten alive, right? There's no energy left for you. This card kind of stayed here, so I'm going to grab it too. And then your shadow card is this one. So, actually you have two. What I get from this is the idea that a lot of times you think, oh, in the future there'll be time and I'll give myself the nourishment, the food. But you are the nourishment. And, you know, last week we talked about people feeding off of your energy and stuff. This, you know, it feels to me like this channel, these readings are, they feed off each other. It's like from one week to the next, they're telling your story. And you are nourishment, and you're starting to learn that it's time to nourish yourself, right? And with that, the message this week on how to nourish yourself is, how can you set healthy boundaries so that you can practice healthy detachment? Because detachment is not what most people think. Detachment is not dissociation. Dissociation is just like, I'm out mentally, you know. And detachment is saying, I'm going to step back and I'm just going to let, like, I have my standards, I have my boundaries, and I'm just going to step back and enforce them. I'm not going to cling to any specific outcome. And that goes with that, you know, I have these rules, and I really need to put them into a PDF and put them out there, because I just want everyone to have them for reference if they want them. But one of them was from my friend, and she said, don't fantasize about people. And the reason is that the minute you start fantasizing about somebody, oh, we're going to get married, and we're, you know, like you just met this person. Oh, maybe we'll be together. Maybe we'll laugh. Maybe we'll have fun. Maybe you're putting, you are now attached to a specific outcome. And attachment to specific outcomes is exactly where suffering comes from, right? And struggle. You got struggle. Yeah, that struggle. I've been saying it for a long time. Like, struggle, love is something that just really needs to be questioned and eliminated. Let me look at this backwards. Burden. Look how heavy this is. You're feeling a lot of this burden. I wonder if for some of you who have been tuning in every week to the Black Mirror Oracle, that you're feeling a lot of burden because you haven't been able to quite let go of a certain toxic energy in your life. And you're getting to the point where you're getting to the breaking point. And remember, be gentle with yourself, because you can't break free until you can break free. And I know this from experience, of course. So we have this person and they've got an open book and it looks like the pages are flying away. It's time for you to rewrite your story. You have been restricted by trying to make your home external from yourself instead of putting up healthy boundaries and creating your own inner world, your own inner nest, right? And it's time for you to feed your own soul with self-care, with spiritual work, whatever it is that makes you feel alive. The universe goes on. Time quickly passes by. Yes. You have so much to give, and you've just been giving it to the wrong people in the wrong situations. You know, you didn't know better. That's okay. You know better, and then you do better. Oh my goodness. We're taught so many toxic things. It's no wonder, right? It's no freaking wonder a lot of us don't learn this stuff until we're older, right? There's a whole world actively out there trying to make sure you don't learn it. 2 nights coming back to back here. 2 nights that aren't really moving. 5 of Wands. Yeah, you've been feeling a lot of heaviness. Oh, beloved. That's okay. Your cards have a story to tell you. And we're going to do a channeled message. You've been going through the ringer with all these 5s, though. Let me tell you. One more. Okay. Let me go ahead and pull your angel card so I don't forget it this time. For after your channeled message. Okay. Beloved, you have felt this roiling inside of you. You have felt like it has been one challenge after another, one hurdle after another. And with that has come a deep sense of sadness. And it is completely understandable. But a lot of it is coming from an external source. Now, beloved, that does not mean to only point outward and blame other people and other situations. But sometimes the best thing that you can do for yourself, beloved, is remove yourself. Set those healthy boundaries. It's going to be slow with these nights that aren't really moving. And it's because forward motion can feel almost impossible when you are stuck in this sort of heavier emotional energy. I'm feeling here the distortion of the King of Cups. So that would be somebody who is using your emotions to keep you tethered so that they can feed off of your energy. Okay? That matches so well with this 5 of Cups. But you are ready to move forward. You've got 2 queens here. Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. You are starting to become very grounded in yourself. And with the Chariot, you're ready to move forward. Things have been slow with this night energy, but you are ready to kind of, hit the reins and get going a little faster. you, when you cut away this toxic energy, when you become home to yourself, when you detach, you don't just detach your time and your energy, you detach your focus. You turn your focus where it truly belongs, on your life, on your activities. My friend who has that rule about not fantasizing, she has another rule, and it says, I'm never going to get involved with situations that distract me from myself, my goals. So a lot of times you start something new, you get a new friend, you get a new lover or something, and suddenly you make your whole life about them. But beloved, your whole life is about you. You don't need to adopt other people's perspectives, even if you need to learn and grow, obviously. But beloved, your perception as a sensory organ of the universe is to give the universe a unique and beautiful experience, aka yourself, a unique and beautiful experience. And to cut away the situations that are not feeding that vision for you. You deserve to be in your sovereign, your royal energy. And it's time for you to let go of the things that are no longer serving you and be gentle. It's going to take some time. Victory. You will get there. So trust yourself. Trust your process. My process is weird. It's all over the place. So, your process doesn't have to look like anything specific. But I will say, build that nest in your own heart. Keep that wall up. And as I always say, hand the key only to those people who have shown through words and sustained action that they deserve a place at your table. Because you're not going to feed your beautiful, glorious, amazing energy to just any old body anymore. You were taught to do that when you were younger, and you gave your energy to lots of people who did not cherish it and did not handle it in a way that you deserved. And you took it very personally, which is totally understandable. But now you're being called to not take any of it personally, to remember that their actions are about them. Even if they tell you it's about you. Someone who's manipulative or in this control energy, that's about them, right? They're going to tell you it's about you maybe, but it's not really about you. And also, if you step back, you can see what part you're actually playing in it, because it's a really, really hard thing to hear, beloved. But a lot of times, we teach people how to treat us. Now, that's kind of a tropey thing, and I'm not victim blaming at all. As a survivor of domestic violence, I want to say, and of a trauma bond and different things, I would never, ever, ever do that. But what I will say is that when it comes to emotional safety, now physical safety is a whole other thing. Reach out, get the help you need. If there's a physical thing, just keep yourself safe. When it comes to emotional safety, your internal house has got to be watertight. You cannot let anyone in who's going to drain your energy. You can't let anyone in who's going to do that. And if you're already embroiled in a situation or entangled in a situation like that, start teasing apart what you can. Start putting up boundaries where you can. You've got this. It might take a while, but you're ready. Your spirit is ready. It might take a little while for the physical world to follow. But this is the first step. And we're ending here with this double queen energy. Actually, we're beginning and ending with the queen energy. So you are rising into your own sovereignty. And in May, I'm actually doing, for Mystic's Lantern, we're doing Invictus, which is a poem by Henley. And it is about stubborn sovereignty. So I hope you'll check that out. Your angel number today is 1551. Hold your vision. Manifestation, abundance, money, dreams, vision, and prosperity. Focus on the good and maintain your concentration on the outcomes you desire. Remember, your focus is shifting onto you, not onto this other person's manufactured. I mean, you're backing back up into your own house, right? It's time to put your faith and time into your ideas and pursue your goals with all of your might. You have such a beautiful, courageous, and brave spirit. Yes, you do. I feel it. I feel this tiger, this lion, this powerful, powerful energy. But it's almost like soaking wet, getting pulled down, getting embroidered in this kind of mud. And you are that bluebird. You want to fly. You need to fly. That is what your soul is. And that's why you can't tolerate this much longer, right? Because whatever the situation is, even if it's just a lot of times it's not even it can be an internal fight, right? To hold boundaries, because everybody you meet who hasn't become, at least, who hasn't been working on their spiritual stuff for a while, they're going to test your boundaries constantly to see what they can get out of you. There are very few people I've met in my life that don't do that. To the point where people don't even believe me if I say I know people who don't do that. So yeah, I try not to do that, but we're all human. I try to be conscious of not testing people's boundaries and rather just keeping my focus on my own. All right, beloveds. If this resonated with you, tell us in the comments about what's going on in your life. I'm so grateful to share these messages with our small community. It means the world to me that you're here, and I'm so proud of the work that you're doing. And I can feel the gratitude in your heart, not for me, but just for maybe for me, but for your life, for the liberation that has happened recently or is coming for you. So be well, beloveds, and I'll see you next time.